It's a historically bad matchup for Rosa.
One thing that I think is good that you pointed out, Fabs, that edge guarding is going to be huge for both parties.
Right,
the Wario down air on Rosa's a B, just a natural counter, very active. He gets to drift whatever way he wants, which means that he gets to send you back off stage in a lot of situations. Vice versa, though, that Rosa down air, the Rosa pressure off stage, we're going to find out. We're getting into game 1 of our top 8. Get hype as we head on small battlefields to figure out who's going to win this first game. moufi already on the back foot.
Yeah, and sticking to the Wario, right? So at the very least, because it's the best of 5, you can burn that one game on the bad matchup. Just go with your main, you know, and then maybe make a counter pick next one.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting the Wario game 1 just to make sure that it's like maybe I have to go Meta Knight, but I do want to see what the Wario can do. And like we keep saying, how do you break down the wall? You know, do you have these tools? Never mind, the DIY isn't in job right now. You got to find something else to get to work. It seems to just be all Popo right now.
And I like the way that Popo is approaching this. He's staying close to the Luma, not allowing Wario to harass the Luma while Luma separated, right? Which means that while Rosa isn't as advantageous in range, the advantage is still there, right? When she's right there with Luma. And the reward is that much higher when hitting Wario. And that's what you need. You got to have that reward because Wario will out-reward you if you don't have Luma available.
This is one of those characters that you almost have to 2-stock.
Oh, yeah.
Not for real, no, for real.
You want to make sure that lead is intact. And Popo, even completely Luma-less, you saw neutral air just outranges Wario's entire moveset. This matchup looks so rough, guys.
The anti-airs are real. The center is controlled. moufi tries to contest, gets juggled for his trouble. Look at the pressure in these juggles. It's very hard for moufi to find any safe space. The down air is going to do it. You're talking about a 2-stack max. This is a 2-stock you want it.
We're looking at a 3-star right now. This is absolute craziness right now. I just don't feel like moufi can kind of contest whatever Popo's putting out.
Yeah, I'm not going to call it too early, but I'm going to call it right now. Meta Knight might be in the future for this set. But, of course, it's based on whatever these players are comfortable with. And you see Popo going for a lot of these Waveland or Luma attacks, right? That's some pretty high-level tech. Generally not common among Rosalina players, but you can see like the reward for it is massive.
Yeah.
You're about to 3-stock your opponent. Clearly something's working out. Clearly this is worth learning.
And a lot of breaks from that Luma. Every time they want to trade, they're never going to be in moufi's favor. Seems to always be working out for Popo, just escaping again. And I talked about how he's going to deal with when Luma's gone. Popo's just never really had that opportunity. It's always, I have Luma with me. You know, it's my best friend. It's me and my best friend doing the greatest job right now.
And that's exactly what I was talking about, right? Staying close to the Luma, making sure that you cannot just harass Luma for free. moufi finding a break with the waft on deck. We're about to see what could be a way closer game than what we've seen so far.
Yeah, right. Running away from Wario is always tempting. He has a hard time chasing you down, but he gets rewarded when you waste time against him. So we'll see if this ends up biting Mr. Popo. So far, though, I don't know. I mean, you're really not in any danger of anything other than going to last stock, fighting a waftless Wario who's already at kill percent. There's the neutral air. Oh,
and
wow.
that is it. Whoa.
Well, that's a big man, Ramsey.
I spoke too soon. Like you said, man, it's a big man indeed. But the halo coming through. Definitely not an angel there for that Rosalina. And damn, Popo, what a first way to take that game.
Not an angel, but sent him straight to heaven with that up air. Popo looking kind of invincible in that game one.
Yeah, and you have to think how much of that was the matchup. How much of this is these players knowing each other head to head.
Right.
And clearly with at least 5 sets played, right? I don't know if that was just their last 5 or if that's their entire set history.
That's the most recent 5, I'm pretty sure, yep.
Yeah, and it clearly goes in the favor of Popo. So we'll see. I think the switch is inevitable, even if not in game 2, maybe in game 3. You don't want to go down just sticking to your guns, refusing to change the game plan.
And I think what you said, Max, during the previous game is exactly right. You got to be tricky. Even when playing Meta Knight, right? Like, you're not going to barge in there and get through the Luma wall. Right. Going back to Wario here, though, is moufi. moufi having faith in that trickiness. And, you know, I think Wario, if any character has enough depth to do it, Wario's definitely, like, up there.
I think with moufi, he's really believing in that, you know what, I can get the down B. I will get it eventually, but just can't seem to let it pass at the moment. Just seems to get, again, a little bit of congestion on that waft at the moment. Just not being able to utilize it too well and just still getting stuffed out in neutral, in disadvantage. Can't really get a move for moufi.
Love these wave dash back.
Oh, yes.
Luma swings as well, man. It's just so cool to watch that. Popo pushing the boundaries of his character and getting rewarded for it. Oh, hold on, though. moufi taking an early lead here, attacking on a lot of damage. And Rosalina, she's very light, right? Wario has plenty of ways to take the stock away, even without the waft.
Yep, going for one of them, the back air, but not landing it. And that's exactly, Max, good that you bring it up because that's exactly what I'm looking for here. You got the damage. How are you going to finish it?
Just like that, finish it just like that.
Exactly. That's the thing. Wario's KO power can be extremely linear, and that linearity right now, Popo is ready for it. moufi not really taking these risks off stage. That's what I want to see in the future, right? Because that is where you get your KOs. moufi still picking up, and this is looking a lot better than game one.
You saw Popo trying to sandwich moufi in between Rosa and Luma's jabs, right? But the spacing was just a little bit off. That's what allowed him that back air out of shield for the kill. We're looking at an even game. moufi starting to get something going here. How much is it going to result in? Oh, into the half walk, but no, just not enough to get the kill.
And this is what I was talking about. The Luma's gone now.
He's going on stage.
Still coming back just now.
He's going
Never
on
mind.
stage. Rinse and repeat, but no big reward. 123 on Rosa. Now you got to get that final hit again. Let's see if moufi does a little bit better. Again, the offstage pressure, max fast. This is what we need from moufi.
What switched up?
Adjustment.
What was the adjustment that moufi's made so far, other than getting rid of Luma more?
It's the confidence. I think if we look at the way he plays neutral, he's willing to make callouts. In these juggles, he's willing to make callouts. He's looking a lot more comfortable on the top 8 stage right now.
I also really like Hollow Bastion compared to Small Battlefield, right? Because the platform's in the middle, instead of the gap being in the middle, you want to hold stage control, right? And Wario uses that platform to get his combo game going. So moufi doesn't have to trade one for the other on a stage like this. He can just be controlling center stage and get a ton of damage.
Yeah, but now he's taking, yeah, I was going to say he's taking a bit more damage now himself. moufi can't really seem to be operating too much around this this stage. I feel like he's... We talked about his mobility, right? We've talked so much about Wario's mobility. We haven't talked about how Rosalina negates that. Any hitbox she puts out negates that mobility. She doesn't care about all of that. You got to deal with my Halo, my Luma, my space, and it seems to be all up in the galaxy right now.
Okay, but the second waft coming online, and moufi, he's setting the stage, right? A few more hits, and that up tilt or up air waft is going to be curtains. Popo is on a timer, and he's got to make the most out of opportunities like this.
Oh, and that nair out of shield, just so much coverage afforded to Rosa, above her, below her, on both sides, right? Truly the embodiment of a neutral air. And it just continuously is shaking Wario off of his trail here. Right now, though, I don't know, one landing up air could be the deciding factor here, and just knowing that you have that pressure, like you guys said, playing against the timer here, it's scary.
I mean, she got her in orbit for a reason. That's why she's controlling so much space. The problem is moufi just can't seem to be getting too much. Never mind. The wrong way. I just be cursing it. Never mind. He still survives, though. Popo has to find a way to get back to stage safely.
The Luma's alive. Did not opt to KO. Luma now goes for Rosa. He's out for blood. Goes for the mix of Popo. Disengages. Controls the center. A bit of an overextension. moufi with the chase.
Oh, and respecting Luma along the way. Oh, and using the up B as an edge guarding tool. And you see he's just continuously kind of ignoring Luma. You do have to pick your spots very carefully. But he's going to pick the right option there. Okay, the back air evens up the set count here. And moufi getting rewarded for sticking to his game plan of going with the Wario 2 games in a row. I was doubting, I'm not going to lie.
We were all non-believers. I was the biggest one. I never thought he was going to take it that far, that half off going the other side, but still sneaking in that back to kind of clutch that game too. And that was a much better game plan, I'd say.
I want to reiterate, the difference was in the confidence.
For sure.
Because I think a lot of what moufi was doing was enabled by callouts, right? Just calling out Luma's position. Calling out, hey, I know you're sending Luma out here. I'm going to go for you because I know Luma's going to come back because that's what Popo has been establishing. So moufi with the confidence to make the reads that he needs to get the win. And that's what Wario often has to do, right? Like it comes down to that. Like he's being annoying, kind of drifting back and forth, and then he converts that into that single read to get in close quarters. And that is where moufi gets his dough. That's where he makes the magic happen.
Yeah, and you just have to think, like, after taking such a rough Game 1 loss, to go in with the same character again, you do have to be feeling pretty confident.
For sure.
Right? It's a ballsy move. It's like, all right, this is a bad idea on paper, but I'm so sure. Like, I got this far in the tournament with Wario, and a little bit of help from Meta Knight for sure, but this is my main character. I'm sticking to my guns, and it worked. So we'll see if Popo is able to make the counter adaptation. I think really separating himself from Luma was the deciding factor, right? You just want to always be paired up, make sure Wario has the hardest time possible getting in. Because if you deploy her, Wario can just jump and drift over. It's no problem.
I think he needs a more solid defense, Popo's, on how he's dealing with Moufi when Luma's gone. It seemed like, you know, like he always needed a friend in him, but, you know, he needs to find a way not to play with the toys. Got to grow up a little bit, keep it classy. But I just don't know if Moufi can kind of like maintain this lead, you know, that he had before in the second game. It's more a case of like, okay, right now, how does he deal with Luma gone? How does Popo hold this defense down?
And I think that is the downfall of Popo. It's his strength and his weakness. He is willing to take risks when he doesn't need to. That makes him surprising. It makes him unpredictable. But at the same time, they are risks that you don't need to take. And that's where Moufi, again, that's where he breaks through. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. Now, Popo, again, see that grab, right? You don't need to grab to open Wario up. You can play the defensive game. You can hold on to your advantage just like this. And that's, you know, that's what it comes down to.
For landing on that big up smash, you cannot challenge that move from above. And I know Wario likes going in that zone. Unfortunately, Rosalina, like I said before, she negates stuff like that.
Oh, I like the idea. They're trying to intercept the recovery with neutral air. It's a very long-lasting hitbox, but Popo so confident in his ability to just drop.
He letting them rip.
Wow.
He letting them rip. Go for the fourth. I want to see it. You can't be in the zone. I'm telling you. Negates.
Yeah, that's a character that only gets in with jump-ins, right? His ground speed, not really all that impressive compared to how quickly he moves in the air. And like you said, you don't have to open Wario up with grabs, right, Ramsey? Like, you will never theoretically have to get close enough to be within your grab range if you play your cards right.
Yep, and we're seeing right now Popo kind of establishing that control. And this stage especially, you'd think, well, it's easier for Wario to get up close because you have less room. But it's not about the total distance. It's just about that final, like, meter. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Max? Meter? And we're seeing that right now.
Oh,
Popo
yeah, the feet, right?
Doesn't need the room. And what he does get out of this stage is it's harder for Wario to land. There's less room for Wario to mix up his disadvantage, and that is what Popo is cashing out on right now. He's not letting Moufi return to neutral.
I'm going to be real, though. Like, this is a pretty similar stage to Hollow Bastion, and the performance is completely different, right?
I've never
Even
seen
with a similar layout.
I've never seen Wario compliment the dress so. You see how I was pointing at it so many times?
Watch your toes. Watch your toes.
No way. And this is a comeback character, folks. Wario can do this. He does this for a living. And suddenly, Moufi tying things up. Only a little bit down, but of course, one landing up air. That could be like 3 or 4 more up airs on the way.
Has to get there, though. 87 on Wario. Time's ticking. The bike interrupted. We see both these players super familiar with the matchup, right? You don't get away with these, you know, these sneaky bikes. You don't get away with this aggression on Popo's end. You gotta play the correct answers, and that is, in this moment, entirely in Popo's favor. Popo getting the grab. Pressure's on.
You're off stage, too, and Popo not even going to try to poke it down air through the stage or anything. He's just very confident in the ledge trap. Wow, or the reverse ledge trap. He just got up into the up smash. How many did he land in that game? I want to say 7 or 8.
Around about that. I know Twitch chat already knows, but just to see, we talked about confidence on Moufi's side. I think we got to go back to Popo now. The confidence in that man, crazy. He was letting those fly like it was nothing. Anytime you're in my zone, near me, up above, sent to the skies.
He hit like 7, but his hit rate was like 10%.
I think the biggest problem for Wario in this matchup, though, is that he doesn't have a reliable way to kill Luma.
Exactly.
You do have a few moves that will send her into tumble no matter what, and knock her pretty far away, but you don't have that burst that a character like Meta Knight might offer you, for example, right?
Yeah.
That dash attack from Meta Knight compared to Wario's, way safer.
Or like a safe sword move to space on Luma. Yeah, I feel you entirely. We're going back to Hollow, right? So again, same layout, a little bit more room. Popo already establishing that zone, the gravitational pull. Like Fab said, it's her zone. It's hard to enter right now for Moufi.
And also the platform being lower, I think, could work well for Wario, whereas Rosa still reaches through, even on the Smashville platform height. But so far, it's been all about Popo. After that last game, it looks like he made whatever counter adaptation was necessary. Stick to that game plan, the anti-airs, just boxing Wario out constantly. You really cannot get in this matchup. And we were talking about the trickiness. I need to see more of that from Moufi. So far, Popo is the one with the tricks.
Tricky one, yeah. And they're really they're in their element right now. They have established their keep away, and now these offensive mix-ups, they're hitting good. These tricks, they're hitting different because Moufi is not even thinking about them. He's worried about getting in the first place.
Okay, he's finding a couple fairs though. He's trying to get them in. Just can't weave in too much without getting slapped a little bit more. And again, the trades never working in Moufi's favor.
Yeah, just going for a grab like an honest, hard-working man, right? Luma appears, just swats him away.
The only thing we've seen work from moufi so far is the offstage pressure. It just has not been working out. The upbees are whiffing. He lost the lost game because of it even. And that is this win condition. We're not seeing it come through. And I'm just looking for a way that moufi can fight his way back in.
Sometimes you just got to know when to cash out and hold advantage rather than going for a
cashing out. The up smash, the arc, controlling the center beautifully. Popo is putting on a clinic right now.
Seeing a lot of nairs from Popo as the set's going on. Definitely a really good anti-air tool, as well as the up smash, of course. And again, just bringing them back to Luma to send them right the way back up with Rosalina. They're working together right now. This is the best duo I've ever seen.
That was probably the biggest glow-up for this character coming out of Smash 4 to this game, right? Like, she lost a lot of cheese, but that move is so good. It combos, it zones your opponent out, it hits him right into Luma for a follow-up very easily. And Popo not shy about using that, dare I say even spamming it to keep Wario at bay here.
Don't fix what isn't broken, right? It auto-cancels, it leaves open the possibility of lunar landings. moufi, he's agreeing. How do I get in? He's not getting anywhere closer. Finds his way in, but no big reward. And that's another downside for Wario. He cannot really chip away your shield the way Cloud does. His grabs are not very rewarding outside of very low percents. How do you get a meaningful hit?
It's just a case of how do you land as well. You know, he's just finding it hard to kind of operate in any kind of situation in this match right now. There's no kind of speciality where he can really shine at the moment.
Yep.
He's getting eclipsed right now by Popo's Rosalina.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you try to even think about landing aggressively on Rosalina, you're eating that up smash or just an air out of shield, a shield grab. All of it is completely devastating. And now that you're down 3 stocks to 1,
no way.
Almost getting 3 stocks. We're one good hit away. Gonna find a brief reprieve though as Luma goes out, and so does Rosalina right behind her.
moufi constantly forcing center in these juggle situations. You cannot drift the center. That is where Popo is, and Popo, he's waiting. He's establishing the zone. See, the drift to center again. Ooh. It's putting you in bad situations over and over. You gotta play it slower. You gotta play the method, and the method right now is entirely in Popo's favor. Can moufi land?
There must be a huge-ass magnet just in the middle of that stage, bro, because
he's going.
moufi just don't like the ledge, and it's costing him every time. When he gets hit, he has like what I like to call the zigzag DI, because no matter where he DIs, it's always back down to the middle. Big magnet there waiting for you, and so is the up smash, ready to kill you. That was classic from Popo.
Yeah, and again, Rosalina, one of the best anti-air characters in the game. Wario, some of the worst range in the game. It's a horrible recipe for exactly what we're talking about, right? If you want to drift to the center, you're going to get punished every single time.
And let's not forget, right? Like, the way Wario deals with having bad range is like weaving in and out. But Rosa's moves are long-lasting, plus Luma adds another layer, right? So you cannot even drift around them that easily. You're still dealing with all of Rosalina's strengths. And, you know, let's be fair, Monsieur Popo, put some respect on the name. He made it work. Now chilling in top 5 loser side. Very, very well done. Love that performance.